I know about life overseas as a black Christian missionary. Talking about relationships, God, fashion, and everything in between. Together, learning about a new culture and how they love. I'll take care of you, you take care of me, then everyone is taken care of. On Young Family, it's Lady A. You're watching MKJ TV. You're watching MKJ TV. On Young Family, it's Lady A. You're watching MKJ TV. You're watching MKJ TV. It's Avatar Teachers, really nice to meet ya. It's Avatar Teachers, really nice to meet ya. How you doing? It's Avatar Teachers, really nice to meet ya. It's Avatar Teachers, really nice to meet ya. On Young Family, it's Lady A. You're watching MKJ TV. You're watching MKJ TV.
Mwah! Hello everyone, you tuned into MKJ TV. It is I, Lady A. I am so excited about today. I don't know, I just woke up with so much crazy energy and I was like, yes, I'm ready to put this into the universe, and it has been wonderfully reciprocated and sent right back to me. So today has been an amazing day. I hope your Wednesday was awesome. My Wednesday has been awesome. Super busy, but really productive, and I met a lot of interesting people, which you all know I love to meet people. So today's been really, really great. I hope that you all have had a great day as well. So for today's Wednesday with Lady A, we are actually going to be talking about what to do when people steal from you. Okay, so true story. If I had $1, I'm being generous, $100. If I had $100 from every person who ever stole an idea, a saying, a thought, a story, bits of my life, whatever, I'd be rich right now. I would have 1,000 more ideas to give away because I would have so much money. But the truth of the matter is, it happens all the time. People can always steal from you. And especially if you're creative like myself, we creatives, our intellectual property is actually our product. Oftentimes the paintings we paint or the books we write or the conversations we have, the life experiences, those are things you can't box them up and sell them, right? And say, oh, well, this is, mine because I made this. Ours is intellectual, so it's a lot easier for people to steal things from creatives, I believe. This is all my 10 cents, right? As always, my opinions. And so because of that, you learn to deal with it. And it's really, really becomes about how you perceive it. Am I a trendsetter that people want to copy? Am I flattered by people's copying? Or am I more of, oh my gosh, I have to box everybody out. I don't trust anybody because everybody steals from me. So really it's up to you, like with all things in life, how you move forward, how you perceive what's been happening to you. And so today, just because I've recently been stolen from twice now, in the past year, major things, I felt like I should make a video today about what to do after people steal from you. Okay, so first off, the first thing you want to do is open your mouth. You guys know my list. I keep my list over there. It keeps me on track. But you want to open your mouth. I know that it can feel like, oh my God, this person stole from me. I want to cower in a corner, or I can't believe they did that. I want to go fight them or whatever. No, the first thing you want to do is open your mouth for several reasons. One, words are powerful. When we put words and ideas out into the atmosphere, they do manifest somewhere. Have you ever thought to yourself man, I should do so and so and so and so, and maybe you've even told someone about it, hey, did you know, I was thinking of if there was a piece of paper and I added something that adhered to other things on the back, I have a note that would stick places. What do you think about that? And then a couple years down the road, someone comes out with sticky notes, right? We've all had that experience where we thought of something and we see it and we're like, someone beat us to it, right? I really believe that's because of the power of words. Words are real things that we just can't see, which is why we have to be careful how we speak to each other, because we do speak life and death out of our mouths as the Bible instructs. And so anyway, open your mouth. When someone steals something from you, don't be a punk about it. You let them know that they stole from you. Now, I like to be clever with it, like, that's really interesting. I actually remember talking to you about that just a few weeks ago. How strange is that? I'm that person, and I think it's because I'm mature now. I'm not offended when people steal from me now. I like to address it. But you definitely want to open your mouth. Don't allow people to mistreat you. I actually am getting ready to do a post about we teach people how to treat us. If you continue to let people steal from you, they're going to do it. So definitely open your mouth, say something. And also, it does good when you speak about it because it allows you to get those feelings out. So the first time when people, not first time, but the first inclination that I have when people steal from me, I'll call my mom. My mom is like the most even-tempered person on the planet and in the world. So I call her and I'm like, Mom, so happened. Can you believe that? Remember, I told you about that 2 months ago, So I kind of vent to her. I open my mouth. I get it out. And then from there, I devise a plan. How do I want to address it? Which leads me to my number 2. No lie can live forever. Now, we are talking about people stealing things, but this is an awesome truth that lives, pun intended, because my book is called Awesome Truth. Awesome truth. It can apply anywhere. It can apply if someone mistreats you, if someone has rumors out about you, whatever. Someone tells an untruth. No lie can live forever, right? So when people steal from you, especially business ideas, they only have the surface. They only have what they heard from you. They have your idea secondhand, which is not the same as fresh from the horse's mouth or the original source. It's not. So it's your idea. So they have the idea part, but they don't have the you part. So trust and believe me, no matter how fabulous and grand you've come up with this idea, and no matter how much other people want to emulate that, they will never be you. So it's not going to be as great. It's not going to be as grand. They don't know. They don't have an ear for music. They don't have an eye for fashion. They don't have, whatever it is that makes your idea unique. So when they take it from you, yes, you feel violated. In fact, that's why you feel violated, because it is so personal, because it is a part of you. But at the same token, keep in mind that without you, it's not going to work. Their version may, but it's not going to work. It's just not. So keep in mind that no lie can live forever. And if I just could turn the corner, that also means the lies that people tell us from when we're younger. And then we get older and they play like tape recorders in our minds, oh, you'll never be this, you can't do this, oh, you're not from a place that can do this, these are the things you can and can't do. All those lies that we hear, you'll always be like your father, or you're just like your mother, or whatever. Those are also lies, and they can't live forever. And it is up to you to say, enough, I'm going to take this record off, I'm going to tear up this tape, it is not going to keep playing in my head. It is up to you when that lie dies. I just wanted to take that little left turn there for whoever that may have been. It is up to you to silence the voice of those lies with your truth. What is your truth? How awesome are you? What has God put in your hands to do? What are you passionate about? What possibilities are at your fingertips? Focus on those things. And I promise you, when you start to live your truth out loud, those lies will be silenced, because no lie can live forever. Which leads me to my number 3. Number 3 is you have to choose if you want to stay and fight, or if you want to leave the idea or whatever they stole behind, okay? So for me, I have had countless, and I don't know why, but I've had countless people try to take pieces of my life that I've talked to them about and restate them as if they were there, or as if they were theirs. And I've also had people, and this happens more times than not, people will talk to me and I'll say a phrase, or because you guys know I'm just really animated and it's however it comes out. So I'll say a phrase or something, or a phrase or a word, or like I said, an anecdote, and somebody later on will re-say that exact same thing before I get a chance to, because you took the words literally right out of my mouth. So I used to get so upset, like, what? That was mine. But then I had to decide, Is this person worth it? Where are you on the totem pole of importance? You're not that important. You're not stopping me from eating. You're not stopping me from, and by eating, I mean having business success. You're not stopping me from making new contacts and networks. It's not worth it. If you need to steal my life or my words or my ideas to make yourself feel important, go for it. I really, truly believe that always, I believe in karma, so it's going to come back to you. So, I have to say, you're not that high on the totem pole, so whatever, go for it. Lie your face off, knock yourself out, right? But now there are situations where I can't just let that pass. You are high enough on the totem pole to affect me in a negative manner. Now I have to address it, which is actually what has been happening with 1040 Go. You guys know that I have a nonprofit called 1040 Global, and the collegiate arm is called 1040 Go. And essentially, I go to schools, I talk to them about cultural exchange, I get them signed up with the government and all these fun things. We do lots of training. I also pair them up with a mentoring school. And then at the end of the sessions, which usually takes about 2 semesters, by the end of that, during that time, I help them purchase their first passport and I take them overseas, right? So there's all these moving parts and intricate things that go into this nonprofit. I've been doing it since South Korea. You guys have probably seen some videos and pictures about that. And so I decided to bring it stateside and work with underserved communities, which I like to start with HBCUs, as well as private schools and charter schools for children of color. So this is happening, and I'm going to different colleges and universities trying to get them excited. I shall keep it nameless. I shall keep these universities nameless. But the first university, actually the person who I was connected with, I came in meeting after meeting, and it was just really great. And I was just like, oh, wow, you're this person and that. And that's really great. You're a believer. You're a Messianic Jew. This is wonderful. All these things are great, right? And then they were like, well, can you bring your brochure so that when we go to the board and let them know we're going to back you and do this, they'll have something in hand. Absolutely, no problem. Gave it to them. Didn't think anything about it. It came time for the follow-up, and I couldn't reach this person. I continued to call and email, which for me is a lot. Adult with ADHD, OMG. Calling you 3 or 4 times is just not in my repertoire for the day. So I called and called and called. No answer, no answer, answer. Long story short, they actually took my brochure, took my entire program. They even kept the title, guys. Mine is 1040 Go, the collegiate experience. Theirs was the collegiate experience. So they just dropped the 1040 Go part. And the school awarded them $25,000 to carry out my program. Needless to say, I was a little bit pissed, just a little bit. But God is so faithful and so amazing, which is why I was able to put this list together. I wanted to be upset. In the meeting, because I went to the school to find out what was going on, and the person made a mistake and told me. They didn't mean to tell me. I'm sure they had probably just been so excited and telling everybody, and they just forgot that, oh, that's right, I stole it from you. So they told me by accident, and I was like, really? You're going to South Africa? How amazing. How did that come about? And their face went blush, pale, oh my God, what did I do? And so, even in the meeting, I wanted to literally, a part of me wanted to jump across the table, because you don't know how hard I worked to put these things together and to do these, even from, imagine doing something like this in another country. You don't understand the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into this, and you're just gonna up and take it, but first of all, that was my fault, and we'll get into that's number 2 and 3. I'll talk about that in a minute, but 4 and 5, and then we're done for the video. But anyway, I didn't have my first instinct, which was to react. I'm so glad I didn't. Fast forward a whole 8 months later, I ended up meeting 2 students. Long story short, the students were like, oh my God, we really wanted to go on this trip, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe we didn't get a chance to go. They're always so unfair. They always do this. And I was like, well, actually, I can help you go. From those 2 students being in my car, I was driving Uber at the time. From those 2 students being in my car, we grew from those 2 students to 15 students, 2 separate organizations, and we are yet still growing. We have opportunities to go to Cuba and the Dominican Republic. The lady, so there was, I'm trying to keep everybody's name out of it, but the lady who got me, I'll just say that, the lady who got me, Susie Go-Getter, in the wrong kind of way, she also was like, oh, well, maybe you can go through the Christian department and, you know, they'll be moving across the hall from us soon. And I was like, oh, great. Can I have their information? Blah, 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 blah. She just acted really like, I'll give her yours. And if she wants to call you, blah, blah, blah. Like, she completely stole and was trying to like cut off, right? So amazing. Of the 15 kids, the person who ended up being president actually is the assistant to the person that she didn't want to give me access to. And I share that to say that when God has given you something, it doesn't matter if somebody steals it. It doesn't matter if they try to put up a roadblock or anything like that. All of that is irrelevant. However God needs to pull it about, he will. And you know what? The way that he did it was so much cooler than just me walking in, hey, please be a part of my program. It was so amazing to have these kids come to me. The access to the lady who has access to all other campuses, you know, locally. Like, it just, I could not have put that together. God totally did that. But it was because I handled the situation of this person stealing from me with integrity and character. So definitely keep your character intact. Absolutely. But if you're going to stay and fight, which is what I did, I chose to, I knew that this was the school that God wanted me to start this on. I knew that these students could benefit from going overseas and getting financial support from me and all of these things. I knew that they could benefit. So I chose to stay and fight. You have to decide, are you going to stay and fight or are you going to let it go? Now, here's the thing. If you decide to let it go, you've got to let it go. And I mean, let it go. Don't talk about it. Don't get drunk at the bar. They stole my idea from me. Like, because that takes away your energy. That same energy can be put into your next great idea. And maybe that next great idea is the one that'll take you to your peak of success, right? So if you're going to let it go, let it go. Don't stoop to their level, you know, talking about them or dragging their name through the mud or any of that. If you're going to let it go, let it go. Prime example, a similar thing happened at a different university, right? A totally different university. And I was like, are you kidding me again? I can't believe it. Like, obviously this is a good idea because people keep stealing it after they meet with me. And here's the funny thing, guys. I let them have it for free. I don't charge for my services. I do not charge. I don't even charge when people ask me to come speak places. I don't even charge to speak. I just ask them to get me there, travel costs. And then whatever they want to give me after that is totally up to them. I don't have a speaker's fee. I just don't think that, I think my gift will produce the finances, right? So anyway, that's a whole other conversation. So it was a very similar situation. I had the meeting. They were like, no, we don't really have it in our budget to take the kids. And I'm like, well, actually, we pay for it and there's fundraising and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, we'll get back to you. They're very sluggish on the talking. Then I get on Facebook and the president, this is not like the other lady was a secretary to one of the presidents of one of the departments, one of the deans of one of the departments. This is the actual president of the university. Post on Facebook, we're going to have something called, what is it? Honors of Excellence or something like that. Anyway, it again was my program only. This time they actually took the wording from my website and I was like, are you kidding me? Really? So I had to make the decision that I want to stay and fight or let it go. That particular time I decided to let it go. I felt like there were other opportunities and there were other means of access for me outside of that school, and I would not have to hop on someone's fake version and of my idea in order to make that happen. So I decided, try and pull that off without me. Go for it. Because there's only one me, right? So, but I also don't talk about that. I didn't dwell there. Now I'm going to be honest. The first 2 days I was hot. I was a little upset and I would talk to anybody who would listen. But I didn't dwell there. I didn't continue to over and over again, oh, this person did me wrong. And this, again, these are tips about stealing, but it works for life. When people do you wrong, don't stay there. Like, even if you don't have it in you to forgive them yet, don't dwell there in that dead, broken place, because then you'll be dead and broken. You can spend that energy doing something to propel your life further. The best revenge is success. Kill them with kindness and go be great. That is the best way to get at anybody if they've done something to you, right? So either stay and fight, or you are going to, leave it alone and leave it all the way alone. Leave it alone internally, leave it alone out of your mouth, leave it alone out of the things that you do, leave it alone. And I would also like to say, in saying and fighting, you have the ability, you know, the word talks about us, the Lord preparing a table in front of our enemies. Well, your enemies got to be at the table, right? So it's been amazing to see the table that God has spread before me. And my enemies are there. I've seen those two people. I've seen them multiple times on campus, and they're just like, hey, because what do you say? What do you say when you've stolen something and you know that you stole it, but the person went on to prosper anyway? It's nothing you can say but, hey, boo, hey, right? So that's what I do. Hey, boo, hey. I'm not rude. I'm not I'm not, out to get them or anything like that. I just am enjoying what God is doing. So yeah, so that's 4. You can choose to stay and fight, or you can leave it alone. Sorry, that's number 3. Karma is real. That is number 4. Karma is so real. Let me tell you, even with the dude Steve Jobs, yeah, eventually it came out that he stole, so that didn't last long. And he was not the happiest guy and had lots of other issues going on. The thing is, how you put energy out is not guaranteed. That's exactly how it'll come back to you, but that's not exactly how it will come back. There are different sayings about it, about karma. Karma's a what you put out, you get that back, you reap what you sow. All those things mean the exact same thing. Be careful what you put out there, because you're gonna have to get that back. You're gonna have to sleep in the bed that you make, right? So make sure that when people steal from you, I actually, depending on who the person is and how they steal, or how they take from me, I should say, how they take from me, I pray for them, because I am a child of God, and I do not want something crazy to happen to you just because you ticked God off by messing with me, right? So I definitely pray for people for sure when they steal from me, but also I realize that sometimes it's not cut and dry. Like maybe they really, really needed this money, or they really, really needed whatever that they took from me, and they didn't know how to get there. So at that time, I'm a change agent. It's not comfortable, but nonetheless, I am allowing them to have a better life. And here's the thing, me being a creative, I have tons of ideas. Like a day, I literally get paid to have ideas for people. So even though people steal from me, I know that that's gonna come back to me. I leave that as a burden for them to bear. I don't retaliate, because I don't want karma to also send a boomerang back my way too, right? So rely on karma, trust karma. Again, people can't just steal from you and go be great and be successful and have no repercussions. Life does not work that way. It might not happen right then. You might not even be around when it happens. They may not even ever admit to you that they stole this from you, and as a result, this happened to their family, or this happened to their finances, or the whole thing went up in smoke. They may never reveal that to you, but you just have to have faith and trust that karma is real and it does come back to you. Which leads me to my final point, number 5, which is don't repeat the same mistakes. Now, before I left for Korea, for those of you who don't know, if you're a new viewer, MKJ TV stands for My Korean Journal TV, because I lived in Korea for like 5 years or so. And I ended up coming back, and that's a whole other story. But before leaving for Korea, I was a business owner. I was gonna say shark. I kind of was a shark, but only in the business room, because I just feel like when you're doing business, let's do business, right? So I was very, very successful. I was known as the black and white queen, because I am so good with contracts and wording and getting people locked in, and it is what it is, and this is what we're gonna do, right? So no questions asked. But living overseas as a missionary, I lost some of that sting that made me, kind of intimidating and kind of not feared, but people knew not to, okay, we're not going to mess with Avery, right? So I lost some of that, and I was so eager and so excited to see this vision come to pass that I let my guard down, and I didn't sign a confidentiality clause, which I am known for. Like, I will not talk to you about the weather unless I have something in writing, right? So I didn't go in with my confidentiality clause, which I definitely know better than doing. I did not have a second party witness with me. I did not, which is usually my assistant. I did not have I'm not only writing from me, but writing from them. What is your expectation? What is it that you want to do? How do you see this in the future? I had none of that. And I do have email traffic, obviously. I can always cover my tracks. But I'm saying the basic things that I knew to do, I did not do from when my idea was first stolen. And so I won't make that mistake again. I won't be as much of a shark this go round, right? But I will definitely do what I know. Get your copyrights together. Get your intellectual property scripting. Get all of that together. Make sure if you need your trademark, and get your things trademarked. Get your website copywritten. There are tons of things that you can do on a smaller scale that can protect you from people stealing your intellectual property. There's tons of things that you can do for that. And so do some research and don't make that same mistake again. If it's somebody stole from you physically, like they stole money from you, don't make that same mistake. Don't leave them alone in your house. Don't leave them alone with your purse and your belongings, because they steal. And as old people say, if you lie, you'll steal. If you'll steal, you kill. And I don't hang around with thieves and murderers, right? So, yeah, when people show you who they are, believe them. Don't make the same mistake of trusting them in that capacity. Again, because you know that they have the propensity to do this. They've done it already. They've shown you that they can do that to you. They've shown you what they are capable of, and they've shown you how they feel about you. So make sure that you don't make that same mistake twice. And so since then, I have tons of contracts, because I'm always talking to people about 1040 Go, hoping that people will invest and hop on and be a part of this beautiful movement with me. But yeah, don't make the same mistake again twice. Dealing with people, dealing with stealing things and ideas and items, don't do it. You have to do a full assessment, because it's not always the other person either. What did I do wrong? Fun story, well, not fun story, but interesting story, which proves my point about taking ownership. We have a friend who has a friend, and they kind of dismissed the friend, like, I don't want to be your friend anymore, but the other friend was not getting the picture, right? So, they were out of town. We were actually, no, I didn't go. They were out of town, and the other friend just pops up in the club where they are, and it is creepy, like. And so they go, oh my God, so-and-so. I was like, get out of here. I was like, well, did you tell them you were going to be there? And they were like, no. Come to find out, they had mentioned it in passing real quick on social media. Not even like a real sincere, it was like a reply to a reply. Like, oh yeah, we'll probably be at blah, 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 blah later, but we'll see. Very simple, but the person scrolled through all that, found it, and showed up at the club. Like, what? That is crazy. So why am I saying this story about the club? Oh, yes, be careful about what you give people access to. And so now that she knows that people lurk on her page and find out where she's going to be, she now has the responsibility to be far more careful about the information that she puts out. You know, there have been people who would put out on Facebook, oh, we're so excited about this vacation. We'll be gone for 2 weeks. And their house gets broken into. Well, they knew you wouldn't be there for 2 weeks. So I hope these topics have helped you about what to do after and when people steal from you. Don't be slighted. Flattery really is a compliment, and people are flattering you when they steal your work, when they take things that are yours, take things that belong to you. There is something about what you've had or what you have. There's something about what you've put out that intrigues them, and it makes them feel like they don't have it, so they have to take it from you, right? So don't sweat it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Keep living, keep breathing, keep living well and in abundance. That's all you can do, is live your best life. So don't let people suck you into their foolery. Absolutely not. And again, remember that if you're going to let a situation go, if it's not that serious, if the person doesn't mean that much to you, and oh, they just retold my family reunion story like they were there, whatever. If you let that go, really and for real, let it go. Don't bring it up. Don't hold it over their head and try to start rumors and, hey, this person did it. Because again, it's taking your energy and it's not giving you back anything in return. So I hope this video was helpful. Until next week, this has been Wednesdays with Lady A. And I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Okay, bye-bye.